Hey everyone, how are you? I hope you are absolutely fine. In the previous videos, we talked about function loops and patterns, and in this video, we'll be talking about DSA, the array. And this video is going to be a little bit long because we will be taking some examples and we will be taking arrays in depth. So let's get started. When we talk about array, first thing that came in our mind is that array is like a box with multiple compartments where each compartment stores a value of the same data type. So what does it mean, right? So let me take one example and try to make you understand it. So we have array is like a box. So consider this as a box, and we have little compartments on it. As you can see, some compartments in this. The green dotted will be the data on it. As you can see here, so there are some steps before we go through the example. We have first declaration in which we declare an array. So how we declare it? We declare using the data type, and then we use the name, and then we say it the size of the array. So that's how we declare it, and then we initialize it. So we initialize two ways. First thing is we initialize it using like this. When the data is already present or we are aware of the data at the initial stages, then we use this method in which we use a curly braces, and then we write the element using a comma, and then we can access the element using some indexes that I'll be talking about in the video. As you can see, so how this actually works, let me tell you one thing. So when we talk about this array, so we have this box and we have some compartments on it. So in the compartment we have some data, and it is like mandatory to store a value of the same data type. So if we are creating an int type of array, then the element present in this compartment will be integer, like 5, 1, 4, 3 and 2. So as I created 5 size of array, so it will allocate 5 bits of memory. Okay, so how the memory allocation done? Let me take you to one next slide. So how it works? So let's consider this is your memory and you have 100 bits free here, but you want to create a 10 bits of character array, right? Which one? Character array. So what is character? Character is like A, B and C, like this, so on. We can store anything, like 1 can also be stored it like a character. Okay, so what we do, we as soon as we initialize it, like we initialize character array of 10 size, right? So what will happen, a one character is of 1 bit. So for 10 character we will need 10 bits of storage. So we will just accumulate 10 bits, right? Consider this as 10 bits. So it, as soon as we initialize it, it makes some storage, takes the storage of 10 bit within itself, and then we store whatever we want to store in it. So how we can access an array? So let's take this example. What we have 5 elements present, and these are the indexes. So what are indexes? Basically, that starts from 0. That starts from 0, and it is used. These indexes are used for tracking elements. So these are used to track elements or to find elements in the array, right? So this is an array. It is a n type of array in which we have 5 elements. So this is something like that happens in the under the hood. What happens? So every index, right? Every index is linked with some element. So how we will know that which index is linked with which element? So if we create one example, array 5 equals to 1, 2, similar to this, and then we have this compartment, and then we can say the green one is the index. So for first element we will have 0 index, for second we will have 1, for third we will have 2, for next we will have 3, and for next we will have 4. So it will always be size minus 1. So the size is 5, as you can see here, and the index will be going to be 1 less than the size. If we count it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it will become 5, and the size is already 5, right? So that's how it works. So it will always be 1 lesser than the size of the array. So as you can see, easy to manage loop, and we can loop through it, and we can perform operation on collection of data. So let's take one example and I will explain how it works. Example for, you are a class teacher and you have like 100 students, and you want to store every marks of every student. So what you will do, you will create a integer or variable, right? M3, so and so on, M100, and it will be a really hectic task to create 100 student. So this is not, it is not acceptable. So what we will do, we will create an array of 100 elements. We'll create an int array of 100 elements. So what we can do, we will just loop through it, right? We will go from I equals to 0, that will be the 0th index, and it will be till 100, and then I plus plus. And if you might be wondering why I'm not using equals to, because I'm going from 0 to 100, and this one is taken, but this one is not. I'm not taking it, right? So there is close bracket. Sorry, there is open bracket and there is close bracket. It means that there is only 100 element. But if we take 0 to 100 and we are taking equals to, it means the close bracket. So what it will be? It will be 0 to 100 will be 101 elements. But we want to only loop through 100 elements because we have 100 size of the array, right? So what we can do, we can see in array ni like this, like I previously told you in the videos how we take input of any element. So it will take for every loop, it will take one element and it will store in the, so the array will be something like this. So it will be till 100, or we can say 99 index, and it will start from 0. So it will store some marks like 10, 20, 80. So I hope you understand the array concept. So let me talk about some limitation of arrays. So the one limitation is the size is fixed, cannot grow dynamically. So as you know, if we create an int array of size 5, then only we can store there only 5 elements, right? We cannot store 6 element. So that is the limitation of array. For this we have vectors that we'll be talking about in the later videos. So it comes under the STL. And then in the next one is can only hold one type of data. So for this, as I previously told you, if we create a int array, then in the storage we only store 5, 6, 7 or something integer values, right? Create a character array, then only we can store character types. So for this, it is the type dependent, we can say that. And the next one is memory inefficiency if not fully used. So what does it mean? It means that when we create a when we initialize an array, right? So it just takes some storage from our memory, and then if we just fill this is of 10 bits, but if we are only using 4 bits of it, then the 6 bit will go in vain, right? So that's how the memory inefficiency works here. So that's about the array. And if we talk about the 2D array, right? So you might be aware of the timetables that we use in our schools or in our colleges. So what happens? We have some rows and we have some columns. So column is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and rows are like 1, 2, 3, 4. If we take index 1 at the start, usually we take 0, but okay, that's fine. So let's take it as an example of a timetable. So what we do, we have some periods, like we have some DSA classes, we have some AI classes, we have some cybersecurity, and some miscellaneous. So these are the days. So we have 4 days of classes in a week. Then we have some periods like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's how it works, right? So this is an example of 2D array. So how we initialize it? The main question is, so to initialize it, we just create an array and we say 5. That will be a row size, right? And then we create one more bracket, a square bracket, and when we write something like this, so it will be column. So what if we want to imagine it, right? So how it will be? It will be like 5 rows, 3, 4, 5, and then 2 columns only. So that's how it will be imagined in 2D. So let's go to the code part and we will understand how we like print the arrays, how we take input of 2D arrays, something like this. As you can see, we have 1D array in which we have created a matrix in which we have 5 elements, right? So and we are taking a loop, and that will be printing the student, and I plus 1, that will, because I is we start from 0, and we are going to show you that the first element marks will be 87 and the second one will be 92 and the third one will be 76, something like that. So if we just run it, so that's about the output. But what if a teacher is very liberal and they want to increase your marks by 3? So what it will be? So you can just increase every student marks by 3 by just writing plus 3 here. Let me just show you. So how it works. See, the first one, the marks was previously 87, but now it is 90. Second one was 92, now it is 95. So the data manipulation using array is also very simple. So that's about the 1D array or the simple array. So let's talk about the 2D array. So in the 2D array, what we are taking 6 numbers for 2 by 3 matrix. So what is a matrix? A matrix is like a timetable that I told you. So this matrix or array is similar to each other. because they are like a 2D that we can visualize. And to take input, we have to take two loops here, because in the 1D array we just use one loop, but in this we will be using two loops. As you can see, first loop will go from 0 to 2, so we are not using equals to because the size of the rows are 2, because first will be 0, second one will be 4 to 1. And for j, that will be columns. I will just write it so you will understand it better. And first one is row. For columns we have 3, so 0 1 2, it will be, the size will be 3. And then we are taking the input and we are creating a matrix, and we will be printing it using the same logic. So let's run it. So it is asking for 6 number. So we are taking input from the user, so let's write 1. So now we have 6 element and we will just enter it, and you can see we have printed our matrix. As you can see, this is a code to print the matrix. So you can see, you can visualize it like a 2D array: 1 2 3 4 5 6. So that's it for 2D arrays. Simple, right? So practice this and try building a multiplication table or even a mini chessboard pattern. So in the next video we'll be exploring strings. So please like the video, share, subscribe, and if there's any issue you can comment me. And if you want to learn any more topics, you can just write a comment on this video. I'll create one.